Today on Derek Does, we're doing these. Hi, welcome to another Derek Does. I'm Derek, and if you're new here, check out all my other cool videos, subscribe, like, give thumbs up, anything you want to do like that. If you have any questions, put them below, and I will answer them, or somebody a little more knowledgeable than I will, maybe knows a little bit more than I do, and they can answer it for you. But today, I'm going to be doing something that's kind of a cool thing. I think it's kind of under the radar a little bit in the world of vintage, and it's satin jackets. Now, you can still find these old satin jackets. These are from the 80s, 70s and 80s, in that range. These were kind of the heyday of these type of satin jackets. Originally it started with, and which is a completely different almost genre than these, is the tour jackets after World War II. And they would, in the countries wherever you were, they would take old silks, parachutes, and they turn them into jackets, and then they'd embroider like dragons and things like that. And they became real popular in Korea and in Vietnam and they called it a tour jacket, because guys would be on their tour and they would buy a jacket with, 1966 or 67, whatever it is, bring it back. Those are really popular. These are after that. These are in the 70s and 80s, where everybody seemed to have these satin jackets. And it's satin, it's just a satin, kind of a varsity jacket in a way. And it's, they're always usually snapped front, and there's no real collar. They just have this elastic stuff. And I'll show you close-ups in a minute of how these look and everything. Now I've got a red one and a blue one, just because I can find these. Now the thing is to find them with great graphics, because that is what makes your satin jacket special. If you just had a plain satin jacket, it's cool, but it's not cool. It's like a tour jacket isn't cool if it doesn't say, Vietnam 1969 with the dragon and everything like that. If it was just a jacket, that's okay, but the graphics is what makes the item special and popular. And that's what I have here too. I have two jackets I've recently picked up. This one is an insulated jacket, and this one's more of a lighter weight jacket. They're both satin. They're both, one's very red and one's very blue. Usually when you find these jackets, they're very vivid, and that's what people like and that sort of thing. And then in the 90s, started making these with sporting teams and stuff like that, and that's like a completely different world too than what these are. They also did baseball jackets like this, so you could find like a local team, softball team, even a bowling team. You would go to the store, and you would, not a store, but you go to the sporting goods. Back in the day, they would have sporting goods shops where you would put your team logos on it and your name and that sort of thing. And that's kind of what these are like. So this one, and I'll do each one, I'll show you. And then I'll put these on, you can see what they look like on, and then we'll put them on the hanger and you can see up close. So this is a red one, which is really nice. This is the insulated one. And this is Colorado Aerotech from Broomfield, Colorado. And I'll do close-ups too, so you can see that a little better. But it's also on the chest here too. This one's really cool. This was a Aerotech school, and I believe they're still in operation. I think they have a different name now though, but this is Colorado Aerotech, and it's probably from late 70s, early 80s. And this would have been his school jacket, because it's not like a college where you would have, your fighting team, that sort of thing. This is a technical college, and where you learn to make aerospace stuff, technical stuff like that. So this is this jacket. And the blue one is really cool. I just picked this one up the other day. This is Walter's jacket, but on the back is really cool Walter, and I don't know when he served, but he was on the USS O'Brien DD 725, which was a Sumner class destroyer from, I believe, 43 or 44 all the way up until 73, when they sunk it off of California after they decommissioned. Now the things to look for on these things are obviously condition. You want some sort of great graphic on the back that's unique and not really that common, I think, for the most part, unless it's like a sports team. In that case, you would have a lot of people that would be interested in it because they're a fan of whatever sports team that is. You also want to make sure that your jacket was made in the USA. If you start to get into probably the late 80s, where they probably still made these. They might be made in Taiwan or Korea or I don't know where else. But when they stopped making clothes in America, they shipped them all out. And so the ones people really want, if you're collecting this sort of stuff, would be the USA ones, because those, you know when it was made, you know it's not a copy, you know it's real. So I'll put each of these on. I believe this one's a large, and this one is actually also a large, a 46, a 44, 46, and this is just says large, so it's about the same. So I'll put each one on. You can see what they look like on, and then we'll put them on the hanger, and you can see close-up details. So here's the first one. Again, this is a large, just so you can kind of gauge size-wise. And just for reference, if you haven't watched my other videos, I usually like to let everyone know, so you can figure out what size you need. I'm a little over 5'10", about 155, and I usually have 44 chest. So, but I have longer arms, so just keep that in mind. So this is the large, and this is the ship jacket. And if you want to snap it up, now these are insulated. They do have a bit of a lining. It's not just pure satin. So, and then you also have pockets. Yeah, ooh. But this is what it looks like snapped up. They're very kind of flashy, but not gaudy flashy. And here's the red one. Now the red one has a little shorter sleeves than the blue one, even though they're the same size. So keep that in mind. It's like you may have slight variances between manufacturers. And then snapped up. Also have hand warmer pockets and a dime. Look at that. I'm already making money. Didn't notice that dime in there. So this is what satin jackets look like when you wear them. So here's the first one. Just has this, this is the classic, you know, a red satin jacket would be this. This has a little kind of extra feature. It has a little flap over top of your hand warmers, as you can see there, so it does keep the weather out a little bit. This jacket is also insulated. More so, it actually has this quilted lining, this polyester lining you can see. This one's Dunbrook, a play jack, and it's made in the USA, 44 to 46 large. This has the older buttons. They're not marked, but you can just tell these are the older, a little bit thicker. And here's the logo here for the Colorado Aero Tech, the School of Aviation Maintenance Technology. Kind of cool. So it has a nice thick matching cuff and waistband. It's all snap. It's like a baseball jacket, only it has, it's not made out of cotton or anything like that, like a baseball jacket usually is. And then you have the big Colorado Aerospace on the back, and that's what makes this jacket kind of special. I think it's pretty cool. And I'm going to be putting these jackets both up on eBay. So if you're interested in this and you're this size, just look for Satin Jacket Colorado Aeros Tech and you'll find it, if it's still around. So they're cool jackets. Here's the other one, and it's a cool blue, and it has the same matching cuffs and waistband. Notice this pocket is just straight into it because it's not the extra insulated. This is Walters, and the tag you can see there is made by Cardinal, made in USA, size large. 100% nylon with a polyester and nylon inside. Here it's just kind of like this polyester material, so it's not the quilted stuff like the other one. This one wasn't worn as much, as you can clearly tell from the red one. I think the red one is actually a student wore it while they were there. And then on the back, that's where you get the cool details. I don't know if you can tell from the drawing if this is a Vietnam or if it's Korea era or if it's World War II era, when this was. I wish he had the date of when he served, but he doesn't. So, but obviously it's from probably the 80s, so one of those. It's hard to tell. He might have picked this up at a reunion back in the day for, you know, a Navy reunion. Cool jacket. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode on Derek Does of vintage satin jackets, which is, again, I think something that you could get into kind of easy because you can still find these. They're not hard to find, but they're not easy to find, but you can find them. And each jacket you find is going to be probably unique, probably one-off, because I don't know how many of these are there and how many of these were made. There's probably not that many. So that's kind of a cool thing on these jackets. They're very unique, and like if you have one, I doubt you're going to find another one. Unless it's for, you know, like I said before, like a sporting team or something along that nature. Usually they're pretty specific for either a softball team or whatever, you know, a veterans group, school, that sort of thing. So they're pretty cool. They look neat, you know, and like if you could wear this out and no one will really think different of you because it's, you know, it's been around for a while. They're kind of cool. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next Derek Does. Thanks for watching.